Perhaps the most iconic of America's national parks, Arizona's Grand Canyon covers over 1.2 million acres and encompasses a large part of its massive namesake canyon, carved over millennia by the Colorado River. Whether taking an adventure through the canyon or simply peering curiously over the edge, travelers of all stripes flock to this quintessentially American destination each summer. The South Rim is open year-round and easier to reach by highway, making it a lot more popular than the remote North Rim we're visiting today, which has no road access in winter. Heading west toward the North Rim from the cities of Flagstaff and Page, US 89A crosses the Grand Canyon at Navajo Bridge, near where the Colorado River first flows into the canyon. Just a few miles north lies the much Instagrammed Horseshoe Bend, and Lee's Ferry, where rafts enter the Colorado for multi-day trips through the canyon. As US 89A pushes west, it skirts the south side of Vermilion Cliffs for 30 miles. At 280,000 acres, this massive national monument is a geological marvel itself, a fitting setup for what's ahead. The road then steadily climbs high into the Kaibab National Forest. At Jacob Lake, it's a left turn south onto Arizona 67. We're now on the Kaibab Plateau North Rim Parkway, a national scenic byway. 44 miles later, the highway dead ends at the North Rim Visitor Center. A short but dramatic walk leads to Bright Angel Point and one of the Grand Canyon's most inspiring views. The Grand Canyon became a national park in 1919. For 6 million years, geological forces and erosion by the Colorado River have sculpted it into a must-see for travelers seeking the world's most astonishing natural wonders. The Grand Canyon is one of Earth's largest canyons and the biggest in the U.S., stretching 277 miles and averaging 4,000 feet deep. It's 6,000 feet at its deepest and 18 miles at its widest. Popular activities include hiking, backpacking, bicycling, and rafting down the Colorado. The park also hosts a wide array of ranger-led activities, including guided hikes, wildlife talks, and geological lectures. Backtracking from Bright Angel Point, it's a short drive to Cape Royal Road and many more lookouts. Wildfire damage is striking, evidence of a seemingly never-ending summer threat in the American West. At 8,803 feet, Point Imperial offers the loftiest views in Grand Canyon National Park. This overlook is a prime example of the contrasts between the North and South Rims. While the views are equally magnificent, the North Rim is higher, 1,000 feet higher. The difference in elevation means the North Rim is generally several degrees cooler than the South. Summer daytime temperatures average in the 80s Fahrenheit, while fall and spring range from 40 to 70 degrees. Winter brings ice and snow, and while the South Rim is open all year, the North is only accessible to vehicles mid-May through late fall. In the winter, backpacking, snowshoeing, and cross-country skiing 44 miles from Jacob Lake are the only ways in. For the park's nearly 450 species of birds, it's a short flight of a few miles from North Rim to South, but the 5-hour drive is more than 200 miles. The North Rim's isolation and seasonal road closure mean it only gets 10% of the Grand Canyon's 6 million annual visitors, making this national park America's second most popular after Great Smoky Mountains. You won't necessarily feel like you have the Grand Canyon all to yourself, but a trek to the North Rim usually means smaller crowds. 23 miles from the North Rim Visitor Center, Cape Royal Road ends at its namesake. It's a short hike to Angel's Window, and along the way, some of the best sightings of the Colorado River. And finally, Cape Royal. The walk is less than a mile round trip, and then it's back on the road, retracing the route to the exit, and head on into a national park-style traffic jam. Weighing more than 2,000 pounds, American bison are the largest land-dwelling mammals in North America. And at the Grand Canyon, they're only found on the North Rim. When mapping your itinerary, keep in mind that Page is about 2.5 hours, Flagstaff 4 hours, and Las Vegas 4.5 hours drive from the North Rim. If you wish to spend more time in the Grand Canyon before returning to your starting point, RV camping at one of the park's campgrounds or a campsite nearby fully immerses you in the experience. Park and stay for the night, then step out onto the hiking trail in the morning. And since it's fairly impossible to explore both rims in one day, stay tuned for our companion story on the Grand Canyon's South Rim.